A lot of people start to say now, Teak, that Brady owes it to the rest of the NFL, the rest of the free agents, to decide quickly this way the rest of the dominoes can fall. What do you think about that?
I mean, in some ways, yes, but I think teams that are buying into that, meaning let's wait for Tom Brady before we make a decision, are setting themselves up to be greatly disappointed. Look, I've said this ever since we started speculating that Tom Brady was going to be somewhere else. What do you think you're getting? He's 41 years old. I know he's fantastic. He's great. I love him as a player. I think he's a great dude as well. I haven't spent time with him in years, but when I met him back when he was ascending, he was awesome. Great guy, great family, does all the right things, says all the right things, perfect leader for any team. But on field, if you are thinking you're a Tom Brady away from winning a championship, you're probably not. And if you're looking for Tom Brady right now, your team is definitely not a Tom Brady away from winning a championship. I mean, maybe the only team that would get close to that would be, I don't know, like the Steelers if Big Ben can't play again.
Let me challenge you on this. You always say no one's a player away.
No team is.
And I always acquiesce with that. If Brady's playing quarterback in the Super Bowl, Niners win?
I mean, Kansas City was damn good. I mean, the Chiefs were damn good.
See, were winning.
Yeah. They didn't.
If he's on the Vikings,
I don't know.
Are the Vikings in the Super Bowl?
It's a different. See, here's my problem. So Tom Brady has developed this unbelievable relationship with Josh McDaniels. It's almost like their brains are connected. So they're able to adjust and do things on the fly that have allowed them to be successful. Let's not forget, 2 years ago, they were getting their asses kicked in the Super Bowl by the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, straight thumped. You don't come back from that.
28 to Trey.
Exactly. You don't come back from that. And so you go into the halftime, you realize nothing that we're doing is working. Nothing. So we got to basically come out and do something completely different. And because Josh McDaniels and Tom Brady are on the same page, they're able to devise whatever it is they devised. They go out and get some help from Kyle Shanahan on the other side, the offensive coordinator for the Falcons, who played as conservative of a game plan as I've ever seen in the second half.
That helped.
Exactly, it helped. But they were able to adjust on the fly. He's not going to have that with wherever he goes. And so you're going to expect this Tom Brady magic to just come out of the air because it's Tom Brady. And it just doesn't happen, right? I think the Denver Broncos saw a little bit of this after Peyton Manning got physically compromised. And we know that Tom Brady is physically compromised at this stage. He's 43 years old. He can't throw the ball downfield. So you get defensive backs just sitting. Maybe I'll get back to 15 yards. But other than that, I know I can catch up to whatever ball he throws deep. So it's a different expectation that I think people are assigning to Tom Brady that might not actually be there anymore.
There's the adjustments aspect, which I certainly agree with you. We've seen it play out. How many times have we heard, coach didn't make adjustments? I mean, nobody really quantifies it. You just see it on social media. Yeah. Coach X didn't make the proper adjustments.
What does that even mean?
But we know when things are stagnant. We know when corrections are not made, in the most obvious sense here. But I will say this, while that aspect might be gone, you're going to have better weapons. If you go, so what's more important, the adjustments of the weapons? If you have Derrick Henry behind you, and you've got the extra guy in the box, which you better have, and now you suddenly have A.J. Brown streaking 30 yards downfield, running by people, and you have Corey Davis, who hasn't not been what he was supposed to be. 5th overall pick, Western Michigan. He's been disappointing.
Still a great talent. He just has been disappointing.
And my point is, I think Tom Brady coerces the remaining talent out of him. So what's more important, the adjustments or the talent?
Are you going to pay him $30 million like he wants if you're the Tennessee Titans?
It's either that or Tannehill for 23. What's the difference?
$7 million on a 2-year deal? I mean, it's a big deal. So
what if Tannehill regresses? We've seen quarterbacks have great years and then, what happened?
And especially with Ryan Tannehill, not to fully flip this conversation to him, but we saw him for a lot of years. And some of it, probably most of it, wasn't his fault because he had different head coaches, different offensive coordinators, different quarterback coaches. It was like a rotation of instructors for Ryan Tannehill.
A lesser person would have drowned.
And there's no doubt about it. He would probably be out of the league. He'd be out of the league. Because we've seen it. We've seen it multiple times.
Yep.
And so you give him credit, but we also didn't see great things from him. We didn't see, man, he threw that unbelievable deep ball. Did you see that?
I saw some great passes.
Last year we did.
That's what
I'm talking about previously. We didn't see any of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, was last year an anomaly? Was it just one of these flashes in the pan? Or is that actually who he is? So there's an enormous question mark around Ryan Tannehill and with the Tennessee Titans. Now, again, it's all mitigated there because they got a great run game if they hold on to Derrick Henry and keep their offensive line intact. But if you go look at what they do, so much of it is the athleticism of Ryan Tannehill, of extending plays and allowing guys to get free downfield and then throwing bombs. That's not Tom Brady. And so I think people who expect him to evolve from what he's been for the last half a decade are going to be sorely disappointed. And it's not a knock on Tom. It's not a knock at all because he's great at what he does. But when you look at what he actually does, it's managing, it's leading, it's always making the right play. It's not, being a hero quarterback, so to speak.